It's time for SideScrollers from ScrewAttack with your hosts, Stuttering Craig.
Die.
Chad.
I'm not having any fun. The plot's gone all to hell, and any second now, the outro is probably going to come in and cut us off from whatever we're...
And Professional Jared.
I hope your pretty little hands aren't tired, because you're going to make me a coat hanger.
And now, broadcasting from the World ScrewAttack headquarters in Dallas, Texas, it's the SideScrollers.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to SideScrollers on ScrewAttack.com. What's going on, everybody? Hey, I'm Stuttering Craig.
I'm Chad.
And I'm Jared.
Welcome to the most entertaining 30 to 45 minutes of your video game week. It is SideScrollers from ScrewAttack.com. What's going on, everybody? All right. Hey, how are you, Chad?
I'm doing great.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I had a kick-ass weekend, man.
What'd you do?
We went to the arcade auction.
I know, it was great.
It was awesome. I got a Neo Geo 4-slot dedicated for $125.
I watched you. I did not bid on anything.
Yep.
Well, I did
No, you
bid.
did.
I did bid on something. I didn't actually get it though.
Yeah.
I was going for the arcade, the Pac-Man
Cocktail.
The sit-down one?
Yes.
Was there a Dungeons and Dragons arcade game there?
No.
I've
Taro,
never seen
Gilmore, Shadows from a Star?
I've never seen a Dungeons and Dragons arcade game there.
It exists,
I
and
know.
it's amazing.
I know it does. I've seen you and Destin play it up in Wisconsin.
Yep.
I've seen it, but I've never seen it at the arcade auction.
Well, here's the thing. You showed me this morning that there was a Cinestar machine there.
Yeah.
How did I not see that? Like, I mean,
Well, it was like a sit-down one. It wasn't like a marquee game.
Okay.
It was like a sit-down, and if you notice the picture I showed you was the marquee wasn't very good. Like it was kind of dusty and gross, and it was one of those things you just kind of floss over.
okay, well, because I would have tried to win it
No.
and then sneak it into Jared's apartment so that one day he just came home and it's there. So he could just be like, ah!
Or just outside his door when he wakes up, and he like opens the door.
Beware,
Like, what a great day today!
Oh!
I'll tell you this: if there's ever a Dungeons and Dragons game there, I will buy it because I know that you want it.
Thanks.
I'll buy it and then I'll sell it to you for the same price that I bought it.
I'm not going to pay you back. I thought you were doing a really friendly thing.
Oh.
It's like, I'll buy it for you.
What if it's
Thanks,
like
man.
$500?
It's not going to be $500 for a D&D arcade. Only nerds buy those, and nerds don't jack up the price on anything.
Your argument kind of fell apart there at the end.
Yeah, it really just kind of trickled apart. Anyway, so hey, a lot of good stuff on the site this week. Just running down the list real quick. We got a ton of archived screwing arounds. Obviously, we played games like
Oh, man.
NBA Jam, Castle Crashers, Double Dragon.
Road Rash.
Yep, Bomberman, Metal Slug, yeah. Lots of good stuff.
Shank.
So screwing around every Monday through Friday at 4:30 Central Standard Time, 5:30 Eastern, and that's 2:30 Pacific. And those of you in the mountain, we don't have any
GMT
viewers.
-6.
Yes. So, all right. Also, we went to the Cabela's truck this past week, which was fun. We saw a goat with large testicles.
Very large.
We had the clip of the week, which was based off of The Perfect Scam, but not Scam. It's a play on words. And also probably one of the coolest videos you'll ever see come from ScrewAttack was Hardcore Zach's visit to the HQ.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Which I definitely suggest everybody go and watch. If you just go to ScrewAttack in the upper left corner, if you're not logged in, you can see, or even if you are logged in, if you're not an Advantage user, you can see in the upper left corner.
Very happy face.
It just says, ScrewAttack grants a wish. Click that video and you can go check it out. It's really, really good stuff and makes you feel good about things. So. So a busy week this week. We also had some great Advantage content, including outtakes from the clip of the week, which is good. So, what's up?
Always fun. Also, the 6th game in the Iron Man of Gaming was announced. So it's Call of Duty Black Ops, and all the rules can be found on ScrewAttack and at NecoCon, which is coming up very soon.
Yes,
November
like 2
4th
weeks.
through 6th.
Oh, geez.
Is Iron Man of Gaming 2011. So if you haven't already booked your stuff, go. It's going to be a lot of fun.
If you're on the East Coast, we'll be out there. We want to say hi to you and all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll hang out.
And don't forget, man, so much content. It is Screwtober over on Screwtober over on GT. We're doing like a VGV or top 10 or some sort of ScrewAttack content every Monday through Friday over on Game Trailers, and it's been great. So games like Vortex, Mission Makers, Xevious, Aerial Fighters Assault, Turtles Arcade, and Mega Man Power Battle have been hit, and Bubsy the Bobcat.
Yeah, that's true. We also have a Genesis Classic in the works, I hear.
Yes, Toe Jam and Earl is on the way.
Yeah.
And Willow the arcade game. So
Cool.
Oh, of course.
it's good.
Hello.
All right. So yes, we're gonna do a little flip flop to the format of today's show. We're gonna be flipping the middle segment and the news desk because the middle segment has direct correlation to the news desk. So, but right now it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone in the world's favorite segment. It's time for
Hard news.
all the base news from this past week. It's time for Hard News.
So today on Hard News, there's some things that I want to talk about, and then we'll talk about something you guys might like.
Okay.
So this is Jared time. There is a brand new Shadowrun game in the works.
You were pretty excited about that.
I was pretty excited about this because the last time they did a Shadowrun game was the 2007 first-person shooter, and it sucked my ass. This one it's going to be browser-based, which is kind of a detriment to it, but it's going back to its RPG roots. It's staying in its cyberpunk setting. It's going to be the 4-player kind of cooperative RPG setting. You do either like the combat stages and when you're actually doing the runs, and then the in-between hand, you're actually like collecting information, meeting contacts, improving your character, and things like that.
So why being a browser-based game is it a detriment?
Browser-based games are clearly limited in what they can do. Like there are a lot of impressive browser-based games out there, but like one of the things they said, like it's not gonna be graphically the best, which I'm okay with. Like I really don't care about the graphics as long as the gameplay is there. That's what really matters. But because it's browser-based, they can only really limit how much they can put in there in terms of like content or missions or character types or whatever. Have you guys ever really played any like other browser-based games?
Like, can you save at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's all like saved server side.
Okay.
It's, this is not done by the guys who did the original Shadowrun.
No.
No, it's not.
They,
So they just have the rights to
don't
it.
exist anymore.
Yeah, they have the rights to it though.
Yeah.
And they're making the game, right? So is it a free game?
Yeah.
Free to play?
By my understanding, it'll be free to play.
Cool.
And so like,
That's what they said in the press release at
yes.
least.
So then how do they monetize it? How do they make money off it?
I'm sure it'll be one of those free to play games. They haven't said that, but it wouldn't surprise me if like, you can get extra essence if you pay $1 or improve your Street Samurai for $2 or something like that. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd probably be along the same lines as like Team Fortress 2, which is completely free.
Yeah, would you do that? Would you pay an extra $1 for essence or whatever? No. You're just gonna play it.
I would play it because I'll
pretty
really enjoy
hardcore
the
about it,
game,
so.
but like,
Well, it's browser-based here. You probably have to go through an ad to get
how about
there.
this? It'll depend how much I like it. Because if I really like it, I will be willing to support them.
Okay.
Sure, like
that.
you did in Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Okay.
Next story. It was teased for a long time, but has been confirmed. Mass Effect 3 is getting 4-player cooperative multiplayer missions, which again makes me really, really happy because I'm a huge fan of BioWare games. One of the things I always really wanted was a truly cooperative BioWare experience, which I thought.
In 4-player.
But yeah, which I thought the first thing that was going to be like that was going to be Star Wars: The Old Republic. That's an MMO setting. This is just Mass Effect 3. They did say the multiplayer is completely separate from the single player, so it's not going to intrude with the other people or just get in the way. You use separate characters in your multiplayer, so you're not playing as Shepard or Garrus or Rex. You make your own characters from any of the alien races, which is really, really cool.
Okay.
And then if you actually succeed in the multiplayer missions, that can improve your single-player mode. Where basically, you're in the single-player, you're preparing a galaxy for war, and doing that in multiplayer will like, help improve that planet's defense or whatever.
Can you imagine how much work would have to be done for a game like Mass Effect and all the choices that you make, which then change all the different possible storylines? Now, doing that with 4 different characters, how they then correspond with each other, and then correspond to each player's own main game.
Really,
which is which is why it was made by a separate studio aside from the core Mass Effect one.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now, what kind of surprises me about this, which I kind of want to talk about, is how many people started complaining and bitching about the fact that there's multiplayer in there. I mean, there were some realistic concerns. They thought the multiplayer was going to interfere with the single player, or the single player wasn't going to be as good because they had to concentrate on the multiplayer instead. But BioWare already said none of those things are true. We had a separate studio do it so that our single player game was still as strong as it is. But people are still out there saying Mass Effect doesn't need co-op. Why would you even throw that in there? You're just wasting it. I'm not going to buy this game now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, how dare you give us something extra?
Which,
it's not going to fuck with the
like my response is, the words Mass Effect co-op, how is there anything wrong about that?
People, it's the internet.
Yeah.
People have the ability to speak and have no consequences, and people like that. So, F that.
You're crazy.
All right.
Well, one quick question. Is it only local, or
it's
is
online.
it online?
Yeah.
So it's online.
Yeah.
See, now it's like, how much can you fuck with the other people? Because that's what I'm wondering. Like, you know, through choices, it can be like, you go, what do you want to do? Kill him, boom. You know, like, and everyone's like, no. Like,
I really don't know if they're gonna have anything like that in the multiplayer missions, or if it's just gonna be straight up, kill everyone, you're done.
Okay.
They haven't really shown much, so I don't know.
Okay.
That'd be interesting.
It'd be very
Yeah.
interesting to see.
If
there's
decisions,
gonna be
maybe there's a leader per team.
Or they might do it like the old Republic, where everyone makes a decision and they just randomly choose the result, but you get your points or whatever based off whatever decision you chose for like Paragon or Renegade. Yeah. Anyway, so the last story that I talk about that I figured you guys might actually want to hear is that Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they detailed a new mode over the weekend.
Yep.
Which is going to be, it's called Heralds versus Heroes, where basically you get these cards in-game, like these power-up cards that you can apply to your team to give them different abilities. These cards include like turn invisible, be immune to projectiles, double jump, just basically completely ridiculous, unbalanced things.
Fun.
Yeah, they're like, there's like, forget it, just whatever you want to do to your team, crazy. Mega armor, infinite hypermeter, stuff like that.
Play War of the Gems.
Yeah, it's going to be.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, it's going to be completely free as post-launch DLC. And the reason I brought it up is because one of the cards is that you can parry tech.
Really?
Yep. So right at the end of the video, they showed Chun-Li doing her kick super and Ryu teching all of it, and then doing his Shincho Yuken.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So my first thought is, wow, that's really cool. And then my second thought is, they're obviously going to have some sort of like separate. It's a separate game mode, right?
Yeah, it's a separate game mode.
You're going to be playing against people online. So that means everyone's going to go, oh, I'm going to use my unlimited supers, and they're just going to spam, and it's going to be boring.
Well, that's why you counter it with immune to whatever mega armor, so you can go through it.
Yeah.
Do you set them like predetermined, or do you pick them up while you're fighting?
I don't know how you actually obtain the cards.
Okay.
But like. You like put it on your team and then you fight into it, so you don't change cards in the middle of battle.
It's like it's neat, but the modifiers are kind of a cool touch.
They pretty much said there is by no means this is supposed to be balanced.
Okay.
This is just have fun, mess with the game.
That's what games are about.
It's like GoldenEye.
Exactly.
mods.
Yeah. Like all that.
Yeah.
Also, Galactus will be a playable fighter.
Which is ridiculous.
Dude, no, what I really want to see, there's going to be some really awesome parry videos. Because like even in Third Strike, you know, you can do some impressive parries. But imagine putting that into an MVC3 setting, where it's just like there's just so many.
If they do a
attacks and
3-team
high
hyper combo and
he just parries all of it. Yeah, dude, you'll see some crazy stuff. It'll be
I hope
awesome.
we do. I hope we do see that stuff, because that'd be amazing.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's our news.
All right, very good. Good job, Jared. Thank you. All right, so
A lot
like
of
I said-
happy news.
Yeah.
Yeah, happiness. Good to me. All right. So let's do a little flip flop. The middle segment will be coming up next, but right now it's time for the Side Scroll News Disc.
Here's the music. I hit it like 3 times.
All right. So I'd like to thank all the G1s for tossing the news stories to me.
More G1 submitted stories?
Yes, yes. Every single one of these. Do we want to start in Florida, or do we want to start in Florida?
All right.
Yeah!
It's about time.
We're going to start in Florida and in Seattle. We got 2 stories in Florida.
Florida and Seattle?
Florida. Well, we got two in
Okay,
Florida, one
Florida,
in
Seattle, Florida?
No,
Stack it?
no,
Get a little Florida sandwich?
we're gonna end in Seattle.
Okay.
That's what the middle segment's gonna be about.
Okay.
All right. So there are little people. I like to call them midgets.
Again.
They some people call them dwarfs. You'll see this actually in the vault for Willow.
I call them halflings.
All right. So
They have racial bonuses to their dexterity.
I know.
did you know? Did you know that in 1989? In 1989, Florida outlawed prohibited dwarf tossing. Dwarf tossing.
Oh, that old sport of.
Have you ever
heard of it.
have you ever heard of dwarf tossing before?
I only thought it was a legend.
So here's the thing about dwarf tossing, and I'll get you some B-roll for this. All right, dwarf tossing is essentially you take dwarfs and you pick them up
And you toss them.
you throw them.
Right.
It's very simple. They're small, it's funny, and everyone kind of giggles,
Clips
right?
of the video.
Yes, there's. Look, there's that guy. He's gonna
You
get
see his
tossed.
face, and he's.
So, anyways, you get tossed, right? So there's a movement now to reverse this decision in the year 2011, which totally contradicts everything that moving forward is about, and how sensitive everybody is towards everybody else's needs nowadays, right? There's an idea to reverse this and make it legal for dwarf tossing to be
Practice?
To be done, yes. To be practice, yeah. Now, generally, this stuff happens in bars. Like there'll be something where they'll bring a midget
Where
out.
a fight
or a
breaks
dwarf.
out and this.
And no, they dress him up in a superhero outfit or something. Like in this case, he's dressed up in a Superman outfit. And they just throw him on a bed. And he's like, oh, okay, and that's dwarf tossing, right? There's nothing really...
That's really lame.
This is the lamest thing I've ever seen.
It's kind of lame. I mean, really, it is. Look at this guy. He's just like... Looks like Brian Crescente, first off. Like a
he really does.
Like a fat Brian Crescente. So remember that at that time.
I thought that was way cooler.
Yeah, well, I kind of imagine like getting him in a cannon and shooting him out or whatever, you know? Like,
That's firing.
Well, whatever. So, anyways... there's a movement, and
it started with this launching.
It started with this 3'2" radio personality, Dave the Dwarf. He says he has the right to do whatever he wants with his body.
That's true.
Makes sense.
And you can't outlaw people from throwing him and tossing him. So
that was going to be my question.
Consent.
My question was going to be, like, who's trying to reverse it? A bunch of, like, backwater hillbillies or the dwarves just saying, I want to be tossed?
Well, no, it's all about the freedom to be tossed if they want to.
If they want to be tossed, they can be tossed.
Bullshit.
It's a ridiculous thing to do, but it is a more ridiculous law. Just don't throw them.
Now,
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, if this was a problem and, like, people were just going around the street and every time they saw a little person would just grab them and throw them, I mean, then I can understand. But it sounds like there's consent involved.
Especially during Halloween where they're just asking for it.
No, wait, that was a child. Oh,
that was a 6-year-old.
I'd rather throw a child than a dwarf.
Whoa! They're more resilient.
Their bones don't break as
Youth
easy.
on their side.
Right.
Bounce and they're right back up.
Anyways, we'll definitely keep you updated on the results of this. All right, moving forward. All right.
Florida.
Everybody has those teachers they hate, right?
Okay.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
grudges they hold.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they're like, God, I hate that lady, Mrs. Smith. Man, I hated her, whatever. So this guy apparently has held a grudge for a long time.
Okay.
He's 60.
Because a 23-year-old man,
Oh, it's still pretty long.
23-year-old man,
Wait, so 23 is like going after a high school teacher?
going after a middle school teacher.
Nice.
So,
brooding.
for at least 5 years, just...
No.
No, let's be longer than that.
This is probably a decade at least.
Well, it depends. If it was 8th grade, yeah, so we'll see.
23.
Oh, he's 23, you're right.
8
you're
to
right.
10 years of...
Okay, so this guy's just mad, right? So a suspected serial pooper has been arrested arrested and released from jail. This
didn't know that was a thing.
This guy apparently got really upset and
I'm so mad I could poop.
not one time, not 2 times,
Kind of like 50-something.
5 times. He went to the middle school and dropped a deuce right in front of the teacher's door, like the exact same teacher every time. And he just like
During school hours?
No. After school hours, he broke
What's
in.
up, children? You'll never catch me.
Hey, she give you a bunch of homework again? Yeah, don't worry, I got it. Just like...
I wonder if she immediately blamed anyone in her class
I know.
like that day. Like, I'm going to find out who it was, and you're all going to get 10 times the homework.
No, it was me from 10 years ago.
Woo!
That's right. Class of 1998, bitch.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyways, so
Seriously?
yeah, seriously, guy's
At
been
20
arrested, and yes,
Well, when did it start?
5 times ago.
No, I know, but I mean like time period, like just one day.
No, recently.
Okay, so one day he was just like, you know what? I hated that bitch. I'm gonna go shit on her door.
5 occasions in September and October. Someone left feces outside the same classroom door in Fort King Middle School.
So he hasn't been there in like 10 years. What happened to this guy that made him just snap?
I don't know, but after the 4th occasion, police actually set up a surveillance camera.
So
It took
there's a
him
video?
4 times to be
Yeah.
like, you know what, we should probably do something
You
about
know, this doesn't look like dog poo.
This isn't just any old pooper.
Yeah.
He's got an agenda.
He's a serial.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, let's go to Seattle, where a real-life superhero, he's been unmasked in court, right? This guy,
damn.
this is going to roll into the middle segment. This is all going to be one thing. It's kind of
Okay.
like, okay, so have you guys heard about these like superheroes that have
Yes.
gone around? And Jared, you've not really heard about this.
No.
Okay. So there are these guys, and they're kind of popping up throughout the United States, and they essentially, they're like big comic book dorks. And
Okay.
they dress
They
up.
want to play pretend?
You want to be a real superhero.
Well-
it's kind of like Kick-Ass. But in real life.
Exactly,
Okay.
except they're not kick-ass. They have like, they go out with
They are
tasers.
lame ass.
They have full outfits, like full superhero outfits. They go in masks and such, and they just go to try to scare off criminals or shock them with a taser or
I'm a
whatever.
superhero.
Yeah.
So here's the
I
thing.
am Electro Man.
Justice away.
All right.
Feel the sting of Tazor, my sidekick. Sorry.
This guy's superhero name is Phoenix Jones.
Nice.
All right, and
That's actually pretty badass.
yeah.
All right.
Phoenix Jones, and he is the leader of the self-proclaimed superhero group called the Rain City Superhero Movement.
They have their
in
own
Seattle.
group?
Okay.
There's
Like a Justice League?
There's like
Yeah,
eight or nine of them, right? And they go around. But here's the thing about it, right? They go and they try to prevent like carjacking, and they go and they try to prevent like rapes from
Petty
happening.
crimes, right?
Yeah.
But stuff they could really make a difference on just being there, right?
Sure, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, if they just said, stop it, we're here to stop you, whatever.
Right.
But they're doing it with like lethal force. Like, well, maybe not lethal force, but force like they have taser guns and they have
Like assault?
Yeah, it's like it's straight up assault when they go out and do these things.
Show up with the bat, knock it off.
Yeah.
Well, okay, there's one guy.
I'm Batman.
If you've ever seen, I think it's the movie's called like Heroes or Superheroes. It's about this group. It's a documentary based on these type of guys in Orlando. And some of the tools they have. First off, all these guys, they all have some sort of issue with them, right? Or at least they appear to. At least the way it's portrayed in this movie.
An issue like mental issue, like
Well, like
stable or
like okay.
His issue is he lives in his mother's basement.
Sometimes others issues, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
They've been
was just bored.
socially rejected. They've gotten too far into comics. They live in this fantasy world, so
Okay,
they want
origin stories.
They then want to take it. They then want to take it to
Shunned by his peers.
take it to
alone in
real
his
life
mother's basement.
and make a difference. That's the thing. I want to make a difference.
Till one day he found a radioactive comic that changed his life.
still going, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's keep going.
All right.
So
So
what happened to this guy?
he got released, and he's kind of being heralded as this like hero in Seattle, right?
Okay.
But he has like bulletproof vest on and stab-proof vest and all sorts of stuff.
So he's prepared.
So you put time
He's
into it.
prepared, sure. But I guess, does anybody else see the flaws in this? Then am I the one who sees like these guys are breaking the law? Like, yeah, they're assaulting people who are doing bad things, but isn't that still assault?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, because technically, if the person was to fight back, it would be self-defense. But it's I don't know. It's kind of a hard subject to judge on because like, if they're actually like saving people from getting raped, you know, and he had to like punch
Sure.
the guy or tase him, you know, then
Look, I'm not one to say I'm going to stand back and watch as like a guy gets, like, or a woman gets raped or
As
something.
a guy
like that.
gets-
Yeah, well, I was going to say a guy
Right.
gets pulled, like stood up, or a guy gets mugged. I'm probably not going to help that guy. I'm sorry. I don't have a bulletproof vest. I don't have a taser. So- I'm sorry. I'm not. Someone's got a gun drawn on this guy. I'm not going to run and be like, hey, you need to stop. Okay, bam.
Craig runs in the opposite direction. Oh boy!
No, I will get out my.
yeah, that guy looks rich. And then
What if it's someone you know? Like you're walking down the street
Okay.
and you see Chad being held up by someone else.
I'm
and
gonna
you're-
look at you and I'm gonna go, don't you do it.
Craig gets that smirk on his face and just runs away.
Falcon punch. You know.
exactly.
No, so I don't know. Like, what's your thought on the superhero thing? Because
Like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's getting bad. Like, 'cause if they're actually preventing crimes, like, I think if it's done right, you know, it's a little goofy, you know, but like, if they're actually like preventing crimes
But
and,
it's-
only using force and moderation, like, you know,
well, here's the thing. It's clearly like and I'm just going based off this documentary I saw.
Okay.
In this documentary, they go around and they travel as a group, and sometimes they would instigate. Like there was one guy who was openly gay, right?
Okay.
And they'd go out and they'd go hang out outside of bars. And the guy was, he'd be really flamboyant and like, hey, and he'd try to pick up on people and instigate them into.
was his superhero named Gay Bait? Sorry.
No, it wasn't gay bait.
Gay-
Anyway, so he'd go out and he would like try to instigate with drunk guys and be like, hey, baby, you know, and try to touch them and such and get them into where they'd be mad. So then they'd want to kick his ass. So then guess what? As soon as they try to kick his ass, the superheroes come in and they kick the crap out of those guys. So it's like, we're getting our revenge on them being nerds our entire life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and this guy obviously he's not doing something right. It's not something that the
what
police
happened?
want because he's been he's been arrested 5 times or 5 counts of
But you can get arrested for like anything.
On 4 counts of assault following a pepper spray incident. So he went in and he sprayed pepper spray at people, right?
Well, what was the context? He was like, you know what I'm saying? Because they'll take him in because he wasn't the one being attacked.
I'll read you the exact. Fodder is the guy's name. His last name. Fodder was arrested Sunday this week on 4 counts of assault following a pepper spray incident. Yeah. So that's he must have been like trying to ward off some evildoers.
Okay.
Whatever,
Yeah, I'd just like to know the context.
If he's getting arrested 5 times, he can't be that good of a superhero.
Exactly.
I mean, Batman, you turn your back, he's gone.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to be a superhero and you want to put all this effort into wearing bulletproof vest and having taser guns,
have an escape plan, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you put forth the effort and go through police training and be like a real hero or something?
Because he'll be stuck behind being a traffic cop job or something and putting out speeding tickets.
Like I said, I kind of see the benefit to doing this and stuff, and it all just depends on context and how they do it. So.
I see it as them taking LARPing to a whole new level.
Yeah, exactly.
Lightning! Taser!
I think I just like
exactly.
Gun, bullets,
fire spray, and he just tases like pepper sprays.
I don't know. It just kind of like I see it in that it's useful because I don't have to do it. Because I don't have to stop some guy from mugging this girl. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like, really? Like, I don't know.
I just see it as them being the lamest superheroes ever, because when I think of a superhero, I usually think of some like real badass who is very adept at fighting hand to hand. Like he'll do he'll do Jeet Kune Do or something and just take people down. They're like, I'm a superhero. Bzz, bzz. Blam, blam.
Exactly.
And then he gets in his Vespa and drives away.
Well, Greg, when you mentioned that you were going to talk about this for the middle segment, I did some research.
Oh, good.
And while my Mac is pinwheeling, I found 3 local Texas superheroes.
Oh, really?
Here in Texas?
Yes.
Good.
Also,
like how local?
First I found no. Well, it's
like
just
here in
Texas.
Dallas.
I don't know exactly, because here's the funny thing. So there's a whole website dedicated to these people.
What's the website?
The worldsuperheroregistry.com.
Okay.
All right.
They've been registered?
It looks very crappy.
I wouldn't stand for that.
It's like a
Neither would
GeoCities
Captain
site.
America.
Okay. First of all, they're on MySpace.
Got it.
All 4 of them are on MySpace. Doc Freedom.
MySpace is like it's my underscore. It's whatever you want it to be. So this is my superhero space.
Right. Yeah. He hasn't updated in like a year. There were never any photos or videos or anything for Doc Freedom, but he talked with all the other superheroes in this little thing, right? Hold on. This gets even better.
Doc Freedom.
The first one I clicked on was actually Nexus, right? And I'm like, oh, Nexus. If I want to, this is how you're supposed to be able to get a hold of this superhero. This profile is set to private. The user must add you as a friend to see his or her profile.
Save me!
Add me as a friend first.
All right,
let's go nuts. Okay, Max Mercury. Sorry, the profile Mercury is only viewable by friends. Again. Okay, and then now we have the Blue Arrow, who actually has some photos.
A weak version of the Green Arrow?
Oh, it's better. All right, so photos, which are now not showing up when he totally had them. Come on. Don't you deviate from this. Okay, good. Okay, first of all, one of his slogans is a duck saying, I inject justice.
Okay.
And he has other animals.
Right into your eye.
My favorite part of this, so he has pictures of his costume and stuff down here, right?
I want to see it.
Okay.
We can't see it.
Well, okay. Well, let me show you some pictures of his costume first.
All right. He looks like a Hellgast.
Kind of. Let's start at picture number 1 here. So, from what I can tell, he has arrows, but he doesn't have a bow. Okay.
So he just throws arrows at you.
So I think he just stabs you with arrows.
And he doesn't really have a costume so much as work gloves, a jumpsuit, and goggles.
Looks like he's been pumping gas.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so
okay, no, hold on. That's not even fair. That's not superhero.
He just shoots arrows at people.
Like, I'm just saying. Like,
what are you saying? Hawkeye and the Green Arrow aren't superheroes?
Hawkeye and Green Arrow aren't real. They're not really fighting.
They are to him.
Himself. Hold on. This is the best part. He uploaded gang hideout reconnaissance photos to his MySpace.
This is where we hang out.
If you are doing gang reconnaissance, why in God's name would you upload the fact to the internet? I haven't checked these out
Wait, he's in
yet.
Corinth. Corinth,
Really?
Texas, which is close. Oh,
Okay.
that's great.
So he's done gang hideout reconnaissance.
We got to get a hold of this guy. No, listen, we need to get a hold of this guy and get him on SideScrollers or ScrewAttack and do an interview with this guy. We have to do it.
Okay, he hasn't put an update in like a year, so I don't know if he switched to Facebook.
Well, look,
or
if you can get him added as a friend
Or
and then
if he
maybe contact with
retired.
him, that'd be great.
no, he actually has a public profile.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So this is the gang hideout.
Yes, because there's so many gangs in Corinth, Texas. Come on. All right, this is great. Okay. Okay.
So, I thought you'd be very interested.
What's
in
his
that.
name? Blue Arrow?
Send me that
Blue
page, Chad.
Arrow. I will send it to you. Now, I was going through these on just the main page that just has all of them, right? And like a lot of them are pretty lame. Let's be honest. However, a couple of them are like, I don't want to fuck with that guy, like this dude, who's called Motormouth, and he apparently has organized a little like there's like 5 or 6 guys who go around San Francisco Bay Area and just stop crime and like protect the homeless from getting like robbed and murdered. And like
Okay.
I don't know, I wouldn't want to fuck with that guy. Like he looks like a pretty big dude.
You Motormouth, he walks up and berates you verbally for a really long time.
You need to stop it right now. I'm going to kick your ass.
You should feel ashamed of it.
Yeah, but like so there's a lot of them that are pretty lame and stuff. And there's like a whole there's like a whole group that's in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is there to do? It's all Mormons. Like,
Yeah, they're
nothing
clearly
bad
bored.
happens in Salt.
Anyways, all right. So, that, like I said, I don't get this. I don't understand it. And I would love to see y'all's comments below. And I just, it seems like dudes who are taking it way too far. And yeah, you're like, okay, this is kind of cool. But it's cool because I don't have to stop anybody from doing this stuff, you know? I don't know.
The last thing I'll say.
All right, yes, let's.
My favorite one is definitely Angle Grinder Man. He has made himself a portable grinder with a motor on it, you know, like a grinder to cut metal and stuff. And his sole purpose is to walk around the streets of England cutting off the boots on cars, like wheel locks and boots. His sole purpose is to cut them off.
How is that being a superhero?
He's
not.
That's clearly
exactly.
breaking the law.
He's breaking the law, but he has this whole outfit. Like he just goes around.
Like, the fact that he's carrying around a grinder is one thing, and then he's dressed up as like a freaking Smurf is another. I'm just saying.
My obsession with wheel clamping is actually a rebellion against a much deeper malice, namely the arrogant contempt that politicians hold for the people who put them into power and whom they claim to represent. So he has chosen, instead of getting into politics,
Dumbass.
he has chosen to go around cutting the boots off of cars.
Okay.
People are dumb. All right.
Good times. There's a lot of really late ones too. It's
Moving
really
on
funny.
then.
Yeah. Okay. There's that. 4 questions.
All right. First up, Cell Slayer 78 asks, if there was any game you could play stranded on an island, what would it be? Now, we've had this question before, but he made a fatal flaw. He said you can play any online game as well. So you're stranded on an island. Any online game.
Captain America and the Avengers.
Oh, nice. See,
Based on our conversation just now.
Okay. Personally,
They're superheroes. I like that.
I would play WoW or some other MMORPG where I could communicate with people, letting them know that I'm stranded on an island and they can get my ass off the island. That would be my plan.
Something with PSN or Xbox Live. Yeah.
Yes. Jared?
Star Siege Tribes.
The problem is no one will be there to play it with you.
But if it was, or the, shut up.
Oh man.
What's up?
Section 8 from South Peak Games.
All right. Come in. All right. Well,
I actually
this
did
one.
like the game, but you know nobody else did.
next up we have a video
Poor
question.
South Peak. Poor South Peak.
Yep.
All right.
Eric. Next up we have a video question from G1 Nitroclop.
Hey, G1 Nitroclop here. The other day I was playing a random Super Famicom ROM that I never heard of called Reversey Kids, and being unable to read the text, I just assumed it was a completely normal game of Reversey with just some little anime girl. Until I won the round and she took her clothes off, and I realized I was playing some really weird hentai game. So my question to you is, have you ever been playing something that just seemed completely normal at first and you didn't know what it was? but then it just got really weird and you realized that it wasn't at all what you expected?
I got nothing.
No, I don't, because no.
You guys never played like some game that just turned out to be something else? Like you thought it was just you never rented a game thinking it was something.
No, when I played Bubble Bath Babes, I knew what it was gonna be.
Well,
I'm just saying.
He said not necessarily porn in text. I mean, like, was there ever a game that you rented, and and like you took home and it was just like nothing like what you thought it was? Misleading.
Well,
cover?
yeah. One game I bought, it was, and this will be hit on another vault, because this is fresh in my mind, because the Willow arcade, Willow video game vault is popping up soon. The Willow NES game is nothing like the arcade game. The arcade game is an action, fun, crazy, go nuts, shoot the crap out of stuff. And the NES game is an RPG that takes forever to get through and is boring and slow and is, yeah. So I was expecting fun action go time and I got RPG.
I have two. Strider, NES.
Yes.
Because you played Strider, you're like, oh, Strider, hell yeah, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as cool.
The bait and switch, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I actually had a very similar experience. My friend had a Columns game. And so we were playing Columns. It's
On
like,
the
it's like
Genesis,
Tetris,
yeah.
whatever. Well, it's Columns, but there's an anime chick in the background. And when you win the level, it shows her naked. So I had like the same exact thing happen to me.
And Chad was 8.
Yeah. And I never stopped playing
And
that
Chad
game.
felt something funny happen in his pants.
Then I played a bonus game of Columns. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it was
Or
a
just
dick joke.
Column.
Yep.
I see it.
Column, yes.
Yes. All right, what else?
Next up, Wordman24 asks, if you could give Doom Guy a name, what would his name be?
Ralph.
Phoenix Jones.
Oh, good one. I actually had Wraith Killjoy. Popped into my head as like the most badass hardcore name.
Simply Ralph.
Just Ralph?
I just like Ralph.
Ralph.
Well, shit, here comes Ralph.
It fits. It's very, it's unassuming. You just kind of like
Ralph
generic.
the Destroyer.
Yeah, just go around. Ralph was here.
Cool. So you're sticking with Phoenix Jones?
Sergeant Cole McGinley.
What? Cole McGinley. All
I
right.
was saying words.
Those are the new Doom Guy names.
All right.
That's it for forum questions. On to birthdays, which Doom Guy is a perfect transition because last week the challenge was set that either dress up as Doom Guy or John Carmack. And surprisingly, we got a few John Carmacks.
I knew we would.
So
It's not that hard.
you win. Well, first up, G1 Battlelight sent in his picture, and he didn't know what to do, but he put his girlfriend in the picture and snuck in
Point.
on our escape
Alright.
clause. So
All right.
happy birthday.
No more escape clause here.
What?
It has got to be a girl by herself, right? You can't just throw your girlfriend in the corner and say, I'm going to be on SideScrollers.
So why don't they just put their girlfriend in their G1 name?
They could do that, but then they're labeled as a woman. So it's got to be just a girl. Girl on girls or girls with other girls.
Whoa! Moving on.
Why are you being all dirty, Chad? Why you got to be all dirty?
I don't know what you're talking about. Cellslayer78, who also had a question, is also his birthday. He is the happiest Doom Guy ever. Just super happy face.
It's because they just got the Berserk Orb.
Yes, there you go. Exactly.
You seen that smile? Or the smile when the Doom guy gets
That's
picked up a
true.
chainsaw.
That's true. So there's that. Then next up, we have Danny Lampla, who is John Carmack. Little phrase saying, guys, I think I just accidentally deleted a mega texture.
It took 4 hours to delete.
Yeah. Then we have Level 70 Elite, who took a picture of his front lawn with a gun and photoshopped it all Doom
Nice.
style, which is really awesome.
It's good stuff.
Yep. Then we have Lone Wolf 1992 boy, who is dressed up as John Carmack.
The most like,
Extra.
It's actually pretty good, John Carmack.
yes, minus the hair. I mean, it looks pretty good.
Yep. It's G1 Coyote, who always has his action figure there. And so apparently he has selected the action figure and he wants the hell out. So
All right.
now we have G1 Sausage McBig Tits, and he is Doom Guy shooting a teddy bear. That is his G1 name.
Good for him.
Yep.
Good for that teddy bear.
Yep. Now, Shadow Kai bears an uncanny resemblance to John Carmack.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and he, just in case, he also sent in one as Doom Guy, looking pretty fucked up.
That's good, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah, props to you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
G1 Terato, or Terato, drew a picture of himself as Doom Guy. So, some pretty cool stuff.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Great. I like it.
Yep, and then we have Trent Chapman, who has photoshopped himself on a 3D Doom guy, which looks pretty awesome.
Photoshopped, or is that just real? That's really good. That's great.
Now we have Tom McCollin, who has really awesome shifty eyes.
Those are up there with Jared.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Eyes. Jared's got some good shifty eyes.
And then last is G1 Welsh Chris, who is Doom Guy, also doing the shifty eyes.
Excellent.
Get some power on.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yep. So,
good job this
congrats
week.
on existing. Yeah, there were some really good ones.
Yeah.
So Doom Guy was a good choice.
All right, this one is going to be very simple and very self-explanatory. Based on the middle segment this week, I want you to dress up as your favorite superhero.
Oh, thank God.
Your favorite superhero or your own created superhero?
Okay,
Both.
let's do that. Let's do your favorite.
Oh, create your own superhero?
You got to create your own superhero, and you have to include what your superhero name is. All right? And let's just throw in your superpowers, too.
Okay.
Why not?
My superpowers are tasers, pepper spray, soldering iron.
Yeah, it's got to be real. It can't be like I can fly or I'm invincible. You know?
Right. And that said, please, 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 please put your superpowers on the picture. Like on the side, like a little description or anything you're gonna do. Please put it on the picture along with your name or whatever. Otherwise, it's gonna be a giant pain in the ass for me.
All right.
By the way, when you first said in honor of the news desk, I seriously thought you were gonna ask him to grab a midget and throw it. So,
maybe next week.
Or a child.
Maybe next week. Yes, you need to grab a baby and act like you're gonna throw it.
That was the first thing I was just like, where are we going?
All right.
Yep.
Very nice. Good job, good job. That is SideScrollers for this week. For all you Advantage members, stick around. We got another extended cut coming up in just a few minutes. And let's see, what else? If you want to be an Advantage member, you can sign up at ScrewAttack.com/Advantage. You get an ad-free site as well as all sorts of fun exclusive content on the way. Like last week, we had the Game Over Thinker, which was early on the site, and this week everyone else is going to get a chance to check it out. So, yeah, it's super cheap and really fun. So, until next week, hey, I'm Stuttering Craig.
I'm Chad.
And I'm Jared.
For SideScrollers on ScrewAttack.com.